The Silent Wife's Revenge. Part 1-2, 17 a.m. Betrayal shatters the facade. The door slams open at 2:17 a.m. I don't look up. I've been sitting here for 3 hours, perfectly still, on the velvet couch in our penthouse living room. The city lights of Manhattan bleed through the floor-to-ceiling windows, painting blue streaks across my bare arms. The room smells like expensive vanilla candle and the sharp, bitter tang of whiskey. I hear his shoes first. Expensive leather. Scuffing the marble floor. Unhurried. Arrogant. Ethan Carter always moves like he owns the world. Tonight, he moves like he owns me. Still up. His voice is low, drunk, lazy. He drops his suit jacket on the floor like it's worthless. Like everything he touches is worthless once he's done with it. I finally lift my head. My husband's white-collared shirt is unbuttoned 3 buttons too far. There's a bright red lipstick stain wrapped around his throat. Not mine. My legs are bare. I haven't worn red in 2 years. Ethan freezes for half a second when he meets my eyes. Just a flicker. Most people would miss it. But I've watched this man sleep for 4 years. I know every micro-movement, every lie, every crack in his perfect golden mask. He recovers instantly. Smirks. Runs a hand through his styled dark hair. Waiting up for me, baby. He saunters closer, confident, entitled, like he hasn't just walked into our marital home carrying proof of his betrayal on his skin. I stand up slowly. I'm wearing the simple white silk nightgown he bought me for our anniversary. The one he said made me look pure. Innocent. Obedient. Perfect for a wife he could ignore. Where were you? My voice is calm. Too calm. Ethan laughs, a short, dismissive sound. He reaches for my waist, trying to pull me into him, like physical affection can erase cheating. Like I'm stupid enough to let it. Business dinner. Ran late. You know how corporate events are. I step back. His hand hits empty air. The smirk slides off his face. Just a little. Business dinners don't leave lipstick hickeys on your neck, Ethan. The room goes dead quiet. Outside, a siren wails far below. Inside our gilded cage, everything stops. He blinks once, then twice, then his jaw tightens. The gentle billionaire husband facade melts away. For the first time in years, he doesn't bother hiding the cruelty underneath. You've been spying on me. He accuses me, the victim. I tilt my head. My eyes don't leave his. I've been waiting on you. For 4 years. I've waited while you lied. I've waited while you came home late. I've waited while you treated me like furniture in your fancy penthouse. I'm done waiting. Ethan's shoulders lock up. He steps forward, towering over me, 6'3" of cold Wall Street power. Most women would flinch. Most wives would apologize for confronting him. I don't move an inch. Don't be dramatic, Elara. His tone turns sharp, controlling. It was nothing. A stupid mistake. One night. You're my wife. You know I love you. Do you? I whisper. I reach behind me, onto the glass coffee table, and pick up my phone. Ethan's eyes narrow. I open the photo album. I hold the screen up for him to see. The first photo, him kissing a blonde woman in the back of his black SUV last month. The second, them leaving a 5-star hotel together at midnight 2 weeks ago. The third, text messages. Hundreds of them. Explicit. Obsessive. Scheduled meetups. Secret hotel rooms. Gifts he bought her that he never bought me. This wasn't one night. This was years. Ethan's face drains of color. All his confidence shatters in an instant. Where did you get this? He snarls, stepping forward aggressively, hand lifting like he's going to grab my phone, break it, destroy the evidence. I step back, holding the phone out of his reach, and I smile. It's not a happy smile. It's the smile of a woman who has lost everything and found her teeth. I've been collecting them, I say softly. For 2 years. Ever since I found the first receipt in your suit pocket. Ever since I realized the perfect husband I married was just a very good actor. Ethan's chest heaves. He's furious now. Cornered. Exposed. Delete them. He orders. Now, Elara. Or you will regret this. Regret what? I laugh quietly. Regret loving you. Regret being loyal while you cheated your way through our marriage. Regret staying silent while you humiliated me at every gala, every party, every family dinner. I lowered the phone. I don't regret a thing anymore. Ethan's eyes turn dark. Dangerous. You think you can ruin me. He hisses. You think a little housewife with no job, no connections, no money can take down Ethan Carter. I built this empire. I own every person in this city. I own you. Your name, your home, your security, all of it is mine. He leans in, his voice dropping to a venomous threat. If you try to leave me, if you try to expose me, I will destroy you. You will have nothing. No friends. No family. No future. You will be homeless, broke, and alone for the rest of your life. Do you understand me? Most women would break here. Most wives would crumble, beg for forgiveness, beg to keep their perfect rich life. But I'm not most women. I lean in closer until our faces are inches apart. I can smell the other woman's perfume on his skin. Sweet, floral, fake. I stare straight into his soul and speak the words that end everything. You don't own me, Ethan. I lift my phone again. I already sent every single photo, every text, every receipt, every video to every major news outlet in New York. To your entire board of directors. To your investors. To your family. His eyes bug. Blood drains from his face completely. He staggers back one step, stunned speechless. What? He breathes. And that's not all. I say calmly. I also sent them the emails. The ones proving you've been embezzling from your own company for years. The ones proving you've been falsifying reports, scamming your clients, lying to your partners. Ethan's hands start to shake. How do you have those? You left your laptop open once. I shrug. You were too busy fucking your mistress to notice your wife was smarter than you ever gave her credit for. The sound of my own cold words hangs in the air, thick and suffocating. Ethan Carter's perfect life is over. I watch the realization crash over him like a tidal wave. His billion-dollar company. His reputation as Wall Street's golden boy. His perfect family image. Everything he's spent his entire life building. Gone. All because he thought I was quiet. Obedient. Weak. He thought I was harmless. Biggest mistake of his life. You ruined me. He whispers, horrified. I freed me. I correct him. My phone buzzes in my hand. Once. Twice. 10 times. News alerts. Breaking notifications. Headlines already dropping. I glance down at the screen. Breaking. Carter Industries CEO under investigation for fraud and infidelity scandal. Leaked evidence exposes years of corporate misconduct. Wall Street prodigy Ethan Carter faces implosion. The buzz of my phone is the sound of his empire crumbling. Ethan sees the headlines too. He snaps. In one violent movement, he lunges for me. His hands grab my wrists hard enough to bruise. He slams me back against the glass window, my spine hitting the cold surface, the New York skyline blurring behind my head. Pain shoots up my arms. His face is inches from mine, contorted with rage, unrecognizable from the loving husband the world knows. You stupid bitch. He snarls. You ruined everything. I gave you everything. A house, money, status, a perfect life. And you destroyed it all out of petty revenge. I don't fight his grip. I don't scream. I just stare at him, unblinking, my eyes cold as ice. You gave me a cage, I say quietly. And I broke the lock. Ethan's fingers tighten around my wrists, cutting off my circulation. I can feel his body pressed hard against mine, violent and desperate. I could hurt you right now. He growls. No one would save you. No one would believe you. Everyone thinks I'm the perfect husband. Everyone thinks you're the lucky, grateful wife. I smile again. It's sharper this time. Deadly. They won't think that for long. Before he can process my words, the sound of loud, urgent knocking crashes through the penthouse. Bang bang bang. Open the door. NYPD. Ethan's body goes rigid against mine. The color drains from his face entirely. His hands fly off my wrists like I burned him. He stumbles backward, panicking now, pure terror in his eyes. Police. He mutters. Why the hell are the police here? I push myself off the window, straightening my nightgown, rubbing the bruises already forming on my skin. I speak softly, sweetly, the final nail in his coffin. I called them. Part R. Deepening conflict. The penthouse's front door erupts open with a deafening crash, shattering the frantic, murderous tension hanging thick in the air. Two uniformed officers surge inside, hands locked firm on their holstered weapons, eyes sweeping the luxury room for threats. Right behind them strides a sharp-jawed plainclothes detective, his gaze cold, unyielding, and razor-focused. No warmth, no mercy, only the quiet weight of an investigation long overdue. 1 second earlier, Ethan had been unraveling, screaming threats, seething with unbridled rage after I burned his perfect empire to the ground. But the instant the door slams open, his fury vanishes entirely. It's a transformation so seamless it chills me to the bone. He resets his posture, smooths his crumpled designer blazer, and pastes on that signature charismatic, disarming smile, the mask that has fooled Manhattan's elite, the media, and the law for decades. The violent, unhinged monster from moments ago is gone, replaced in the blink of an eye by the humble, powerful, untouchable CEO the world adores. Officers. He hugs a light, casual laugh, tone warm and unbothered, feigning total confusion. What's the urgency here? This is private property, my penthouse. I assume there's some mistake. No mistake, Mr. Carter. The detective cuts him off sharply, no room for his charm, no patience for his games. His sharp eyes dart across the room, zeroing in instantly on my red state, the dark, bruised fingerprints wrapped tight around both my wrists, my unsteady trembling frame, the faint fear still lingering in my posture from Ethan's brutal grip. We have an active report of domestic assault, criminal intimidation, and unlawful restraint originating from this residence. Ethan's fake smile drops dead. Panic flickers fast across his features, quickly masked by indignant disbelief. He shakes his head, stepping forward in a deliberate, performative motion, trying to regain control of the room. Domestic assault. That's absurd. This is a trivial marital argument, nothing more. My wife and I had a minor disagreement, heated words, that's all. No harm, no foul. I step forward slowly, my footsteps soft but deliberate, cutting through his lies like a blade. Every pair of eyes in the room locks on me in an instant. I lift both my arms slowly, bearing the deep, purplish handprints branding my pale skin, irrefutable proof of his violence, proof he can no longer deny. My voice is soft, shaky, and devastatingly sincere, crafted from 2 years of practiced composure, every word calibrated to shatter his perfect alibi. He grabbed me so hard he left these marks. He slammed me against the floor-to-ceiling window, pressed his forearm to my throat, and swore he'd ruin every part of my life if I ever dared cross him again. Ethan's head snaps toward me, his eyes blazing with raw, unfiltered betrayal. The mask slips for a split second, letting the vicious monster underneath bleed through. Elara, stop this madness. He growls through gritted teeth, low enough only I can hear it. I hold the detective's gaze, unflinching, my tone steady and resolute. This isn't madness. It's the truth. This isn't the first time. For 4 years, he's controlled me, isolated me, hurt me in ways no one could see. I have timestamped photos of old bruises, hundreds of threatening text logs, and witness statements from household staff who've seen his violent outbursts behind closed doors. The detective's expression hardens completely. He's heard every lie, every excuse, every wealthy man's attempt to brush off abuse as a simple lover's quarrel, and he sees straight through Ethan's act. Ethan erupts, his carefully curated composure crumbling into frantic rage. This is fabrication. She's bitter. She's vengeful. I caught her plotting behind my back, and now she's lying to destroy my career. This is extortion, officer, pure and simple. His desperate shots hang in the air, hollow and desperate. The detective lifts his phone, screen glowing with endless incoming notifications and federal case files. He doesn't even glance up at Ethan's tantrum. Save your denials, Mr. Carter. The words land like a verdict. 30 seconds ago, every major financial regulatory agency and the FBI received a full dump of your evidence. Offshore money laundering, billion-dollar corporate fraud, fabricated business transactions, insider trading, and systematic financial exploitation. Your entire empire is collapsing in real time. Federal units are en route for a full raid. Color drains completely from Ethan's face. His confident stance wavers, his knees buckling faintly. For the first time in his life, the untouchable billionaire looks terrified, human, and utterly defeated. That's falsified evidence. He stutters, voice cracking with panic. My wife tampered with documents, she's framing me. The forensic audit is already underway. The detective cuts him off coldly. The evidence is timestamped, encrypted, and irrefutable. You are detained immediately on charges of domestic assault, criminal intimidation, and felony obstruction of justice. Federal fraud indictments will follow within hours. 2 officers surge forward in unison, closing in on him. Ethan's frantic eyes lock onto mine, burning with a murderous hatred so visceral it chills the air. Every ounce of his charisma is gone, replaced by unbridled, feral fury. You planned this. He hisses, the words dripping with venom as officers twist his arms behind his back. I don't flinch. I don't look away. After 4 years of cowering, of smiling through pain, of being his perfect, silent trophy wife, I finally let myself meet his rage head on. I lean in, my voice quiet, calm, and unbreakable, only loud enough for him to hear. You spent 4 years locking me in your cage. I just handed you yours. The cuffs click shut around his wrists with a sharp, final sound. He thrashes against the officers, jaw clenched so tight I can see the muscle flexing in his jaw, eyes never leaving mine. This isn't over, Elara. He snarls, voice deadly and unyielding. You think this is victory? I own this city. I own every rule, every favor, every person that matters. I will post bail. I will walk free. And when I do, I will hunt you down. There will be nowhere for you to run. No one for you to trust. I will make you pay for every single thing you've done tonight. If it's the last thing I do. The officers drag him toward the door, his violent threats echoing through the sprawling penthouse as he's forced out of his own home, out of the life he built on lies and greed. The front door slams shut. Silence crashes over the penthouse like a tidal wave. The chaotic shots, the distant wail of sirens outside, Ethan's raging promises, all of it fades away, leaving only me standing alone in the middle of the cold marble living room. Floor-to-ceiling windows stretch out behind me, showcasing Manhattan's glittering skyline, neon lights flickering bright against the pitch-black night. This is the city that worshipped Ethan Carter, that crowned him untouchable, that let him get away with everything for decades. Tonight, I broke him. My wrists throb beneath the bruised fingerprints, a stinging, tangible reminder of every night I endured in this gilded prison. My hands are finally free, but the quiet triumph settling in my chest is hollow, weightless, wrong. I should feel relieved. I should feel free. Instead, I feel watched. My phone buzzes once in my pocket, sharp and deliberate, cutting through the dead silence. I pull it out, expecting news alerts, expecting viral headlines exposing Ethan's downfall. But the screen lights up with a single private text message. No contact name. No profile photo. Just an unknown number. Unknown, you played your part perfectly. Now the real game begins. My blood runs ice cold in my veins. A cold, prickling dread crawls up my spine, spreading through every nerve and bone, snuffing out the tiny, fleeting sense of victory I'd clung to just seconds prior. The penthouse is still deathly quiet, so silent I can hear the distant hum of Manhattan traffic far below, the faint rustle of the silk curtains swaying gently in the night breeze sweeping through the cracked window. Yet the air no longer feels empty, it feels occupied, thick with the invisible weight of a stranger's gaze, lingering in every shadow, every corner of the home I once thought I knew. I stare frozen at the text message, my thumb hovering uselessly over the screen, my fingers growing numb and stiff. No one knew my plan. Not a single soul. For 2 entire years, I plotted Ethan's downfall in absolute secrecy. I isolated myself from every friend and family member, buried every trace of my investigation, deleted every hidden file after backing it up, and never spoken a word of my revenge plan to anyone alive. I endured every night of manipulation, every cruel insult, every violent outburst alone, convinced my secrecy was my greatest shield, my only guarantee of success. And yet someone had watched every step I took. Someone knew exactly when I'd strike, exactly how I'd take down Ethan's empire, exactly how perfectly I'd played the role of the broken, obedient wife to lure him into his own ruin. I whirl around on the spot, scanning the massive penthouse wildly, my eyes darting across every shadowed alcove, every mirrored wall, every dark stretch of hallway. The luxury furniture, the expensive artwork, the polished marble floors that once felt like symbols of Ethan's wealth now feel like props on a stage set. For 4 years, I believed this penthouse was my prison, a gilded cage built by Ethan to trap and control me. But in this terrifying moment, I realized the horrifying truth. It was never just a cage. It was a stage. And I was never just a prisoner. I was a pawn, performing a carefully scripted act for an audience I never knew existed. My breath comes in shallow, ragged gasps, my chest tightening with suffocating panic. The bruises on my wrists throb sharply, a painful reminder of the violence I'd endured tonight, of how close I'd come to being destroyed by Ethan's rage. I'd risked everything to take him down, my safety, my reputation, my entire future, believing I was fighting for my own freedom, for my own justice after 4 years of endless suffering. Now it's clear I was only ever a tool. I typed frantically, my hands shaking so violently I misstruck half the keys, my vision blurring with rising fear. Who are you? How have you been watching me? The reply pops up instantly, fast enough to prove this stranger has been waiting, hovering, anticipating my reaction long before Ethan was ever dragged out of this room in handcuffs. I've been waiting for Ethan's fall longer than you've been married to him. You were just the only person brave enough and broken enough to finally push him over the edge. Tears burn hot at the back of my eyes, not from grief, but from crippling, overwhelming terror. I thought I'd won tonight. I thought I'd broken free from the man who'd spent 4 years breaking me piece by piece. I'd imagined walking away from this penthouse, rebuilding my life, leaving every lie and every scar of this toxic marriage behind me. But the game was never mine to win. I slowly sink down onto the edge of the leather sofa Ethan always occupied, the cool leather chilling my trembling legs. My gaze falls across the living room, taking in every detail I'd ignored for years, the odd placement of security cameras in obscure corners, The locked study Ethan never let me enter, the late-night phone calls he'd always taken on the balcony alone, the way he'd always grown paranoid whenever I asked questions about his past. All those small, strange inconsistencies I'd brushed off as his typical arrogance and control were pieces of a far darker puzzle I'd never uncovered. The stranger knows things no outsider should know. They know my every move, my every secret, my every plan. They've witnessed every violent fight, every quiet breakdown, every hidden tear I've shed in this empty penthouse. They've watched me suffer for 4 long years, waiting patiently for me to gather the courage to destroy the man who destroyed me. What do you want from me? I said, my fingers trembling against the screen, my voice cracking even through text. There is no delay, no hesitation. What you want? The full truth. You only scratched the surface of his sins tonight, Elara. The fraud, the cheating, the domestic abuse, these are not his worst crimes. You took down his empire. Now you're going to help me bury him for good. A cold, nauseating dread settles deep in the pit of my stomach, heavy and unshakable. I stare out the floor-to-ceiling windows at the sprawling Manhattan skyline, the bright city lights twinkling endlessly, a blinding contrast to the darkness unfolding in my home. The entire world is celebrating Ethan's downfall, labeling it a historic takedown of a corrupt billionaire. Headlines are already flooding every news outlet, praising the exposure of his corporate crimes, reveling in the fall of New York's most beloved elite. No one knows the real monster they missed. No one knows there are far deadlier secrets hidden within these penthouse walls, secrets Ethan has spent decades burying with his wealth, his power, and his endless connections. I lift my gaze back to the text, my mind racing with endless, terrifying questions. What other crimes has Ethan committed? How many lives has he ruined beyond the financial ruin I exposed? Why has this stranger spent years plotting his downfall, hiding in the shadows instead of stepping forward? And most terrifying of all, why me? What other crimes? I type, my heart pounding so hard it hurts. The reply that follows steals the last breath from my lungs. He's not just a crook and an abuser, Elara. He's a killer. And the proof is hidden right here, in the home you've been living in for 4 years. Every muscle in my body locks up in pure, unadulterated fear. The room suddenly feels smaller, tighter, suffocating, as if the walls are closing in on me. I've slept in this penthouse every night for 4 years. I've eaten, breathed, lived within these walls. I've laughed and cried and survived here, never once suspecting I was sharing a home with a cold-blooded murderer. The stranger's next text burns into my screen, final and unyielding. Go to the master bedroom. Behind the large abstract painting above your bed. Your real revenge hasn't even started yet. Part 3: The Big Twist. I stare at the text message for a full 10 seconds, my heart stuttering in my chest. You played your part perfectly. Now the real game begins. Who is this? No one knew my plan. No one knew I was going to take down Ethan tonight. I planned every single detail alone. I collected every piece of evidence alone. I waited 2 years in complete silence, telling 0 people my intentions. So how does someone else know? I type quickly, my fingers tight on the screen. Me, who is this? The reply comes instantly. Unknown, someone who's been waiting longer than you to destroy Ethan Carter. My breath catches. I glance toward the penthouse door, half expecting someone to burst inside. The apartment feels different now. Not empty. Watched. For 4 years, I thought I was the only victim in this marriage. The only one suffering. The only one plotting revenge. Now I realize I was just a pawn. Me, what do you want? Unknown, I want the same thing you want. Ethan's complete destruction. But you only scratched the surface, Elara. The truth about him is far worse than cheating and fraud. I freeze. Worse than embezzlement. Worse than domestic abuse. Worse than years of lying and cheating. What could be worse? Me, what are you talking about? Unknown, look in the safe behind the painting in your master bedroom. My head snaps toward the hallway. The master bedroom. The large abstract painting hanging on the wall beside our bed. I've lived here for years and I never once suspected there was a safe behind it. Ethan always kept that wall off limits. He always said the painting was a priceless family heirloom, not to be touched, not to be moved. I always thought it was just his usual arrogant obsession with control. I was wrong. I crossed the penthouse quickly, my bare feet silent on the marble floors. The apartment is too big, too quiet, every shadow stretching long and dark. The police are gone now. Ethan is gone. But the danger hasn't left. I push open the master bedroom door. The room is immaculate. Minimalist. Cold. Perfectly staged for a marriage that was nothing but a performance. I walk straight to the large black and gold painting hanging above the hidden wall safe. My hands hover in front of the canvas, hesitant for only a second. Then I grip the edges and pull. The painting swings open smoothly, revealing a thick, steel wall safe embedded in the concrete. My pulse thunders in my ears. The text message pops up again. Unknown, the code is your birthday. He never changed it. He never dared to. I stare at the keypad. My birthday. The one thing Ethan always pretended to care about. The one date he never missed celebrating, even when he was cheating, even when he was lying, even when he was hurting me. I tap the 6 digits. Click. The safe unlocks. I pull the heavy door open. Inside is not money. Not documents. Not business files. Photos. Dozens and dozens of printed photos, stacked neatly inside the safe. I reach in, my fingers shaking, and grab the top stack. I flip through them one by one. My blood turns to ice in my veins. The first photo is of a young woman I've never seen before. Late 20s. Blonde. Smiling. Standing in front of Carter Industries headquarters 3 years ago. The next photo is her getting into Ethan's car. The next is her body, laid out on a hospital gurney. Dead. My breath catches in my throat. I can't look away. I flip faster. Another woman. Another stranger. Dark hair. Brown eyes. Photos of her attending a company gala with Ethan 2 years ago. Photos of them talking intimately. Then photos of her missing person report. Then a coroner's photo. Also dead. Third woman. Fourth. Fifth. All connected to Ethan. All involved with him romantically. All dead within months of meeting him. All ruled accidental deaths. Overdoses. Car crashes. Falls from high-rise buildings. All ruled suicide. My knees weaken. I sink down onto the carpeted floor, the photos scattering across my lap, my hands trembling so bad I can barely hold them. Ethan Carter didn't just cheat on me. He didn't just scam his company. He didn't just abuse me behind closed doors. He kills the women who love him. Every woman who gets too close. Every woman who finds out too much. Every woman who could expose him. They end up dead. And I've been married to him for 4 years. I'm the longest surviving woman in his life. Tears burn my eyes, hot and terrified, not from grief, but from pure, unadulterated fear. I thought I was taking revenge on a cheating, corrupt husband. I've been sleeping next to a serial killer. My phone vibrates again in my hand. Unknown, now you understand. He doesn't just break hearts. He buries them. And you were next on his list, Elara. I stare at the words, my mind spinning, every piece of the last 4 years clicking into place. The way he isolated me from my friends. The way he controlled every part of my life. The way he grew colder every year, the way he started checking my phone, the way he threatened me whenever I tried to leave. He wasn't just being a toxic husband. He was waiting for the perfect moment to get rid of me too. Me, who are you? I type again, desperate. How do you know all this? The reply takes longer this time. When it comes, it breaks me completely. Unknown, I'm the sister of the last woman he killed. Unknown, and you just helped me take down my sister's murder. Unknown, but he's not done fighting. And he's coming for you first. Unknown, run. The single word glows harshly on my screen, sharp and final, slicing through the fog of my shock and locking every muscle in my body into primal terror. I scramble to my feet in a blind rush, the stack of victim photos slipping from my grasp and spilling across the bedroom carpet, their lifeless faces staring up at me like silent warnings. Every frozen smile, every crime scene snapshot burns into my retinas, impossible to erase, a brutal reminder of the fate I've narrowly escaped for 4 long years. I finally understand why Ethan kept me trapped, why he stripped me of every connection, every freedom, every ounce of independence. I was never his wife, never his partner, never his love. I was his longest held captive, his clean, perfect trophy, reserved for a final kill he'd been delaying for years. He kept me compliant and docile, feeding me lies of loyalty and luxury, waiting until I was completely isolated, completely dependent, completely alone, so when he finally disposed of me, no one would question it, no one would care, no one would dig for the truth. My fingers fly over the phone screen, panic making every movement frantic and unsteady. Me, your sister. What was her name? How did he kill her? The reply comes cold and brutal, no hesitation, no mercy. Unknown, Maya Reed. She worked in his internal audit team. She found his hidden murder records 2 years ago. She threatened to go public. 3 months later, she fell from this exact penthouse balcony. Ruled suicide. Just like all the rest. A violent, nauseating shiver tears down my spine. I remember that day. I remember Ethan coming home late, reeking of rain and iron, his hands clenched tight, his mood unhinged and violent. He told me a distressed staff member had taken their own life, spinning a tale of burnout and depression, and I believed him. I comforted him, apologized for his stress, never once suspecting he'd returned home after pushing an innocent woman to her death off our balcony. This penthouse isn't a home. It's a graveyard. Every wall holds a secret. Every balcony, every window, every quiet dark corner has witnessed his violence. I've walked across blood-stained floors, slept inches from a killer, laughed at his fake smiles, and endured his abuse all while he buried his victims within the walls I called my safe place. Me? Why me? Why wait for me to take him down? Why didn't you expose him yourself? Unknown, because he's untouchable from the outside. His money bribes cops, his influence silences media, his power erases evidence. Every witness who tries to speak up disappears. Every report gets buried. I've tried for 2 years. I failed. But you lived inside his walls. You saw his true face. You had access no outsider could ever gain. You were the only weapon strong enough to break him. Her words land heavy and suffocating. I wasn't just a pawn. I was the last hope for every woman Ethan has murdered. Every silent victim, every erased life, every buried tragedy rested on my 2 years of quiet, painful plotting. But victory has never felt so deadly. I glance wildly at the bedroom window, at the glass balcony overlooking the endless Manhattan skyline, the same spot where Maya lost her life. The night wind whips against the glass, and for a split second, I swear I see a shadow shift outside, watchful, waiting, hungry. I know Ethan's pattern now. When his reputation dies, when his empire crumbles, when his control breaks, he hunts. He eliminates every loose end, every witness, every person who knows his truth. And I am the biggest loose end of all. I grab my phone tighter, my throat tight with urgency. Me, he's in police custody. He can't come for me. Unknown, Ethan's lawyers are the best money can buy. Bail is already processed. He's walking free within the hour. And when he gets out, his only mission is killing you. You stripped him of everything. He will not let you live. The room spins. I stagger backward until my shoulders hit the cold bedroom wall, staring at the scattered photos of his victims on the floor. All of them thought they'd escaped. All of them thought they'd outsmarted him. All of them died believing they'd found freedom. I bent down quickly, scrambling to gather every photo, shoving them back into the safe with shaking hands. These are proof. Irrefutable, deadly proof of his serial killings. If I leave them here, they'll be destroyed the second Ethan returns. If I take them, I carry the truth of every dead woman with me. I slam the safe door shut, reset the lock, and swing the painting back into place, covering the horror hidden behind it. The facade of the perfect, luxurious bedroom snaps back into place, clean and flawless, hiding the monster's trophies once again. But I know better now. I know the mask is fake. I know the beauty is blood deep. I know the man I married is a cold, calculated killer who does not stop, does not forgive, does not spare anyone who crosses his path. My phone buzzes one final time, a sharp, urgent warning. Unknown, I'm outside the building. I'm here to get you. Don't trust the elevators. Don't trust the lobby. Don't trust anyone. Come down the emergency stairwell. Now. I don't hesitate anymore. The time for fear is over. The time for running and for surviving has just begun. Part 4 Escape. I don't hesitate. I scramble to my feet, shoving all the photos back into the safe, slamming the steel door shut, swinging the painting back into place to hide the evidence. My entire body is shaking. I've spent 2 years planning to destroy Ethan's life, thinking I was fighting a greedy, abusive billionaire. I had no idea I was fighting a killer. No idea that every night I slept beside him, I was sleeping next to a man who has murdered multiple women and gotten away with it every single time. All those accidents in the news over the past few years. All those mysterious deaths connected to Carter Industries. I ignored them. Everyone ignored them. Ethan's money and power covered every single murder. And tonight, I took away his money, his power, his reputation. Now he has nothing left to lose. Which makes him infinitely more dangerous. I grabbed my purse from the dresser, shoving my phone, wallet, and keys inside. I don't pack clothes. I don't pack luggage. I don't have time. I know Ethan's pattern now. When he's cornered, when he's exposed, when his perfect life crumbles, he kills. He will bail out of police custody immediately. His lawyers are the best money can buy. He'll post bail in hours. Maybe less. And the second he's free, he's coming for me. I'm the only witness left. The only person who knows all his secrets. The only person who destroyed him. I'm his next target. I ran out of the master bedroom, through the dark hallway, toward the front door of the penthouse. I yanked the door open. And freeze. The hallway outside my penthouse is empty. Too empty. The entire floor is silent. The elevator doors are closed. The security camera at the end of the hall is pointed directly at my doorway. Watching me. I step out slowly, closing the penthouse door behind me, locking it tight. My heart is pounding so hard I can hear it in my ears. Run. The unknown woman's text echoes in my head. I walk fast toward the elevator, pressing the button over and over, desperate to get out of this tower, away from Ethan's gilded prison, away from his killing ground. The elevator dings. The doors slide open. I step inside, press the lobby button, and the doors start to close. A hand slams between the doors. Stop. The elevator doors jerk back open. I freeze solid. A woman stands in the hallway, staring straight at me. She's tall, slender, with sharp hazel eyes and long dark hair. She's wearing a black coat, her face completely calm, completely unreadable. She's the one who texted me. I know it instantly. No one else would be here. No one else knows the truth. Our eyes lock across the elevator space. Don't go down to the lobby, she says quietly. Her voice is steady, no panic, no fear. He has men waiting for you downstairs. My blood runs cold. Who are you? I demand, my voice shaky. You said you're the sister of one of his victims. She steps forward into the elevator, the doors closing behind her, trapping us both inside the small metal box. The elevator starts to descend. My name is Lila Reed, she says. My sister was Maya Reed. She was Ethan's last mistress before you. She found out he was embezzling millions, tried to blackmail him. She turned up dead in a suicide fall from this exact building 6 months ago. I stare at her, speechless. Maya Reed. I saw her photo in the safe. The last woman in the stack. The last victim. I've been investigating Ethan for 2 years. Lila continues, her eyes hardening. I've been waiting for someone close to him to break. To take him down from the inside. You were my only chance. I shake my head, processing everything, my mind still reeling. You used me. I whisper. You let me take all the risk. You let me confront him, leak the evidence, destroy his life, while you watched from the shadows. Lila doesn't deny it. I had to. She says firmly. If I moved publicly, he would have killed me too. He's too powerful. Too protected. But you. He never saw you coming. He thought you were weak. Obedient. Blind. You were the perfect weapon. Anger flares hot in my chest, sharp and raw. You knew he was a killer and you let me stay married to him. Let me live in danger for months. You were safe as long as you stayed quiet. Lila replies coldly. The second you broke his control over you, you became his next target. Which is why we have to run now. Before he gets out. The elevator dings, opening on the 10th floor instead of the lobby. I frown. This isn't the lobby. We're not taking the main elevator down. Lila steps out, gesturing to a narrow emergency stairwell door. Main lobby is swarmed with his private security. They've been ordered to detain you the second you step outside. Ethan knew you'd run. He planned for this. My stomach drops. He's always one step ahead. Even in his downfall, he's controlling every move. How do you know all this? I ask, stepping out of the elevator after her. Because I've been studying him for 2 years. Lila pulls open the stairwell door, motioning me inside. I know his patterns. His tactics. His kills. And I know he will not stop until you are dead. We step into the dark concrete stairwell, the door clicking shut behind us, blocking out the bright city lights, blocking out the world. The air is cold here. Damp. Silent. Lila turns to me, her face serious, deadly serious. You didn't just ruin his company tonight, Elara. You exposed his murders. You took away his ability to cover up his crimes. He will never forgive you for that. He will hunt you until the day he dies. I grip my phone tight in my hand, my mind racing. I thought revenge would set me free. I thought destroying him would end my nightmare. But I was wrong. Revenge was only the beginning. Now the nightmare is hunting me. The stairwell echoes with the faint sound of our footsteps as we begin descending, each concrete step cold and unforgiving beneath my bare feet. The hum of the building's ventilation system drones overhead, a low, monotonous buzz that only amplifies the suffocating silence pressing in around us. Every floor we pass feels like a narrow escape, every shadowed corner holding the quiet threat of being discovered. I glance over my shoulder every few seconds, my nerves frayed to the breaking point. Even though the stairwell is empty, I can't shake the crawling sensation that someone is right behind us, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Ethan's presence lingers in every inch of this skyscraper. His money built these walls. His security patrols every floor. His influence controls every camera and every exit. How long until he's out? I whisper, my voice trembling in the dim darkness. Lila keeps her pace steady, her gaze fixed forward, no trace of fear in her sharp features. She's spent 2 years fighting this monster in the shadows. She's long past panic, long past hesitation. All she has is focus, cold and unyielding. 30 minutes, tops. She answers flatly. His legal team has pre-filed bail paperwork for every possible charge he could face. Domestic violence, fraud, obstruction, all of it. He's prepared for every arrest, every investigation, every attempt to take him down. It's why he's gotten away with murder for years. My throat tightens, dread curling tight in my gut like a living thing. I'd spent 2 years meticulously gathering evidence, convinced I'd outsmarted him, convinced I'd finally cracked his impenetrable armor. But in reality, he built fail-safes for every scenario. He'd never once feared consequences because he'd always known his wealth and power would bail him out. He's not human. I mutter numbly. He's calculated every single outcome. He's a narcissist and a psychopath. Lila corrects sharply. He doesn't feel guilt, remorse, or fear. The only emotion he understands is control. Tonight, you stripped every ounce of control from his hands. That's worse than prison to him. Worse than losing his fortune. He'll burn everything and everyone to get it back. We reach the 5th floor, and Lila suddenly freezes, shooting a hand out to grip my arm, pulling me flush against the concrete wall. Her grip is tight, urgent, silent. I hold my breath instantly, my heart slamming against my ribs so hard I'm certain it can be heard. Far below us, heavy footsteps echo up the stairwell. Slow. Deliberate. Searching. Multiple pairs of boots, thudding against concrete, growing louder with every passing second. My blood turns icy. They're already here. Ethan's men didn't even wait for him to post bail. They're hunting for me now, on his direct orders. Stay quiet. Lila breathes the words barely above a whisper, her eyes locked on the stairwell gap below. Don't move. Don't make a sound. They're sweeping every floor. I press my back harder against the cold wall, my fingers curling tight into the fabric of my dress, every muscle in my body locked in rigid terror. The footsteps draw closer, echoing up the narrow stairwell, each thud a brutal reminder that I am trapped, outnumbered, and being hunted by a killer's private army. I can hear their low murmurs now, gruff and clipped, speaking in hushed tones as they search floor by floor. Carter says she's still in the building. Find her. No witnesses. No loose ends. No loose ends. The words slice through me like a blade. That's what I am to Ethan now. A loose end. A mistake. A blemish on his perfect legacy that needs to be erased completely. For 4 years, I was his perfect wife, his trophy, his obedient shadow. Now I'm nothing but a problem to eliminate. Lila's hand tightens on my arm, her gaze sharp and alert, tracking the movement of the man below. After a long, torturous minute, the footsteps begin to fade, continuing upward toward the penthouse floors, searching the higher levels first. They're heading up. Lila whispers, releasing my arm. They think you're hiding near the penthouse. We have a 2-minute window. Move fast. She doesn't wait for me to respond, already sprinting down the remaining flights of stairs, her movements quick and precise, years of practice evident in every step. I chase after her, my legs burning, my lungs screaming for air, fear fueling every desperate stride. We burst onto the ground floor landing, and Lila shoves open a rusted, unmarked side exit, an old service door hidden behind the building's utility pipes. A forgotten passage no guest or resident would ever know existed. This is the back exit, she says quickly, yanking me outside into the cool night air. It leads to the alley behind the tower. No cameras, no security patrols. Ethan never bothered monitoring this site. He thought it was too dirty, too lowly for his perfect building. The second the door slams shut behind us, the suffocating pressure of the building lifts slightly, but the terror never fades. The dark alley is narrow, lined with dumpsters and shadowed fire escapes, the distant glow of Manhattan's neon signs flickering at the mouth of the street. I pause for half a second, glancing back at the towering glass skyscraper behind me, the home I'd lived in for 4 years, the prison that had nearly buried me alive. We can't stop here. Lila urges, grabbing my wrist and pulling me forward into the shadows. He'll send men to sweep the alleys next. He leaves nothing to chance. What do we do now? I ask, my voice raw and broken. Where do we go? He has the entire city watching for me. Lila slows for a moment, turning to face me, her hazel eyes sharp and resolute under the dim streetlight. We fight back. She says firmly. You have the photos. The proof of every murder. The evidence that can bury Ethan Carter forever. The police buried his crimes. The media ignored them. But we're going to expose every last one of them. I stare at her, realization crashing over me in brutal waves. I thought escaping meant safety. But safety was never an option for me. I either bury Ethan Carter, or he buries me. There is no middle ground. No surrender. No running away forever. My fingers brush the photos hidden safely in my purse, the faces of every woman Ethan killed, every life he destroyed, every secret he buried in wealth and lies. These women deserve justice. Maya deserves justice. And I deserve to stop running from the monster I unleashed. A new text pops up on my phone, lighting up the screen in the dark alley. Unknown Lila, bail approved. Ethan is free. My breath dies in my throat. Behind us, the distant sound of screeching tires cuts through the night. He's already here. Part 5 Final Showdown. The screech of tires tears through the quiet Manhattan night, sharp and deafening, echoing off the brick alley walls and freezing every muscle in my body. Headlights round the corner at the end of the street, blinding white and unrelenting, cutting straight through the thick darkness to lock directly onto our hiding spot. There's no doubt who it is. Ethan. He didn't even wait for a full release process. He didn't waste a single second. As soon as bail cleared, he came straight for me. Lila's grip on my wrist tightens instantly, her voice low and urgent, edged with a years-old rage I can finally hear beneath her calm composure. Run. Now. We don't hesitate. We bolt deeper into the narrow alley, our shoes slapping against the cold asphalt, the stench of garbage and damp concrete filling my nose. The path is cramped, flanked by overflowing dumpsters and rusted metal fire escapes that climb the backs of the city's old brick buildings. There are no side exits, no alternate roads, only a long, straight stretch leading toward the busy main road 3 blocks ahead. And the car is speeding straight for us. The engine roars louder with every passing second, growing closer, closing the gap fast enough to make my vision blur with panic. I risk a single glance over my shoulder, and my blood runs cold. The driver's window is rolled down. Ethan's face is visible in the glow of the streetlights, sharp and terrifyingly calm. No rage. No frenzy. Just cold, empty, unhinged determination. He's not chasing me in a blind fit of anger. He's hunting me. Methodically. Precisely. The same way he hunted every woman who ever crossed him. His eyes lock onto mine through the dark, even from a distance, and I swear I can feel his hatred sinking into my bones. He's alone. Lila hisses, sprinting beside me, her breath steady despite our desperate pace. He sent his men to sweep the upper floors. He came for you himself. He wants to kill you with his own hands. Her words slice through my fear, grounding me in brutal reality. 4 years of marriage, 4 years of control, 4 years of him playing the loving, perfect husband, all of it was a lie. The gentle gestures, the fake birthdays, The calculated kindnesses were just bait. He kept me close, kept me compliant, waited until I was irreversibly tied to him, planning to erase me when I finally outlived my youth. I was his longest experiment, his most patient trap. And tonight, I broke free. Tonight, I destroyed everything he built. He will never let me live to tell the tale. The car swerves sharply into the alley, abandoning the main road entirely, cutting off our only path forward. The headlights blaze brighter, pinning us against the shadowed brick wall at the dead end of the passage. We skid to a halt, backs pressed tight to the rough brick, nowhere left to run. The car slows to a crawl, engine purring low and menacing, like a predator toying with its prey. The door swings open. Ethan steps out into the night. He's still in his crumpled designer blazer, the cuffs gone from his wrists, his hair messy, his once flawless appearance fractured, but his power is still there, thick and suffocating, rolling off him in waves. The streetlight catches his sharp jaw, his cold eyes, and for a split second, I see the killer beneath the billionaire mask. The man who pushed Maya off the balcony. The man who orchestrated countless fake accidents. The man who buried every witness who dared expose him. He stares straight at me, completely ignoring Lila's presence, like she's nothing more than a stray obstacle in his way. Elara. His voice is low, smooth, deceptively gentle, the same tone he used to whisper empty promises to me every night. You really thought you could outsmart me? My chest heaves, my hands trembling as I clutch my purse tighter, guarding the stack of damning photos hidden inside. The proof of every murder, every lie, every sin he spent decades covering up. You're done, Ethan. I force the words out, steady and unshaken. I have everything. Every victim. Every crime. Every proof you buried. The entire world will know who you truly are. A cold, humorless smile tugs at his lips. You think evidence matters? He takes one slow step forward, closing the distance between us. I've buried evidence before. I've buried witnesses. I've buried entire lives. One more leak, one more story, one more dead wife changes nothing for me. His gaze flicks finally to Lila, recognition flashing cold and quick in his eyes. Reed. He murmurs, the name dripping with venom. I wondered when you'd crawl out of the shadows. You've been haunting me for 2 years. Using my wife to get your revenge for your sister. Lila's jaw tightens, her resolve hardening. You murdered her. You thought you'd get away with it. I did get away with it. Ethan shrugs, indifferent, unrepentant. Until your little partner here decided to throw her own life away for justice. Foolish. Both of you. He turns his full attention back to me, his eyes darkening with unbridled fury. I gave you everything. Wealth. Luxury. Status. A perfect life. And you repaid me by stabbing me in the back. By destroying my name. By exposing me to the world. You gave me a prison. I shoot back, voice sharp and clear. You gave me fear, abuse, isolation, and death. You didn't love me. You controlled me. You were waiting to kill me just like you killed all the others. The smile drops from his face in an instant. His entire demeanor shifts, the last thread of his civilized mask snapping completely. This is the real Ethan Carter, ruthless, violent, unhinged. You could have lived. He growls, taking another step forward. You could have stayed quiet, stayed perfect, stayed alive. But you chose to ruin me. So now I have to ruin you. He lifts a hand slowly, and my breath catches until I realize he's pulling a small, silver key from his pocket. You think I didn't plan for your betrayal? He smirks bitterly. I knew you were hiding something. Knew your 2 years of sudden obedience was fake. I just waited to see how far you'd go. My mind reels, horror crashing over me. He knew. He knew I was plotting revenge all along. He let me collect evidence. Let me leak his fraud files. Let me destroy his empire. Just to watch me try, just to savor the moment before he ended me for good. Before I can process the full terror of that truth, Lila moves. She steps in front of me, shielding my body with hers, her gaze locked deadly on Ethan. You're not touching her, she says firmly. Your reign ends tonight. Not hers. Yours. Ethan laughs, a low, chilling sound that echoes through the empty alley. You think you can stop me? Two broken women against everything I've built. I own this city. I own the law. I own every secret in this state. Not anymore. The voice comes from nowhere, calm, authoritative, unyielding. Red and blue lights flare to life at both ends of the alley, painting the dark brick walls in flashing crimson and white. The distant wail of sirens swells loud and fast, drowning out Ethan's arrogant laughter, cutting through the night's tension like a blade. Ethan's face drains of color in an instant. He freezes, head snapping left and right, realizing he's surrounded. Blocked in. Trapped. Unmarked police cars flood the alley exits, doors flying open, federal agents and uniformed officers swarming forward, weapons drawn. Flashlights zero in on his figure, pinning him in place, stripping him of every last shadow to hide in. Lila's shoulders relax slightly beside me, her expression finally softening from its years-long hardness. I didn't just wait for you, Elara. She murmurs quietly, only for me to hear. I've been gathering witnesses, filing sealed reports, contacting federal investigators for 2 years. I waited for your evidence to seal the case. Your proof of the murders was the final piece they needed to take him down for good. I stare at her, stunned, every missing piece clicking into place. She didn't just use me. We used each other. I brought the internal proof from inside his gilded prison. She brought the legal force from the outside. Together, we built the case no money, no power, no influence could bury. Ethan staggers back, his confident composure shattering completely as officers close in on him. For the first time in his life, he has nowhere to run, no one to bribe, no way to manipulate his way out. This is entrapment. He snarls, desperate and feral, scrambling backward. You can't arrest me. I have bail. I have connections. Bail is revoked, Mr. Carter. A lead federal agent steps forward, voice cold and final. New felony charges have been filed. Multiple counts of capital murder, conspiracy, witness tampering, and federal corruption. You're not walking free ever again. Two officers grab his arms, yanking them behind his back. The familiar click of handcuffs rings out in the alley, sharp and definitive. But even as they drag him toward the patrol car, his eyes never leave mine. Hatred burns bright in his gaze, unbroken, unforgiving, a promise etched into the dark. This isn't over, Elara. He snarls, thrashing against the officers. You think this is victory? I have people. People who owe me everything. They will finish what I started. They will find you. They will make you pay. The words send a fresh chill down my spine, but I don't flinch. I stand tall, shoulders back, no longer the scared, obedient wife trapped in his shadow. I'm free. Alive. Victorious. I watch as they shove him into the back of the patrol car, the door slamming shut on his raging threats, locking him away at last. The sirens dim. The lights steady. The alley falls quiet, the nightmare of the past 4 years finally lifting from my shoulders. Lila turns to me, her hazel eyes soft now, no longer sharp with vengeance. It's over. She says quietly. He can't hurt anyone else. I lift my purse, fingers brushing the photos inside the faces of every woman Ethan killed, every life he destroyed. They finally have justice. I finally have freedom. I glance up at the Manhattan skyline, the bright city lights that once represented my prison now glowing bright with new possibility. The gilded cage is broken. The killer is captured. The lies are exposed. But as I stare at the empty city night, Ethan's final words echo faintly in my mind. I have people. They will find you. A quiet, lingering dread settles in my chest, not fear of Ethan anymore, but fear of the shadows he left behind. The game might have changed, but it's not fully over.